Pleased to be joined by Jeff Skinner of the Buffalo Sabres. Jeff, thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. Well, we're gonna keep it pretty light here, and we'll first just start off with your goal song because I feel like it's kind of been the talk of hockey Twitter for the last couple of weeks since you scored your first goal on home ice and people heard it and just reacted to it in general. So, what's kind of the story behind picking this particular song this year? I know you've had some unique ones in the past.
Yeah, I think 3 years ago they started in Buffalo, and I think my first one was "Party in the USA" uh, by Miley Cyrus, and then last year I had Whitney Houston song, "I Want to Dance with Somebody," and then so it felt like this year I had to kind of stay on brand, I guess, and go with kind of more of a pop hit, and yeah, somehow landed on High School Musical. I think, yeah, obviously, I think some guys have gone more like pump up songs, a little bit more hip hop, or some rock and roll, some kind of like uh, good songs that get the crowd going. I think for me, I was just trying to play into the kind of joke, I guess, of it a little bit, and that's how we landed on that one.
Have you ever watched High School Musical before hearing the song? Like, had you heard the song before choosing it?
Yeah, I think yeah. I mean, that was kind of my era. I think even the
Yeah.
party in the USA, like Hannah Montana was after school. Hannah Montana, That's So Raven, like it was like that was my era. And then High School Musical came out. I forget how old I was, but it was big hit when I was whenever it came out. And yeah, it's nice to throw it back, I guess.
I love it. No, I feel like the fan reaction has been just everyone really loves it and has loved the song choices over the years. When you heard it for the first time after you scored on home ice,
Skinner's going to be the beneficiary of this one, but what a pass from Owen Power, the young D-man. Look at the vision, heads up the entire way, finds the steam to Skinner. He has enough time to corral that, and he tucks this just underneath the bars. Johansson can't get over there in time, but Owen Power with an unreal vision to Skinner's side of the net.
did you um did you just feel like it fit perfectly how you wanted it to? Did it kind of meet those expectations?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think you never really know how it's gonna play over the big speakers, and I think that's the thing about the songs. I think guys do a lot good job of picking songs that kind of like get the fans into it. I think you got to kind of try to match the vibe of when you score. Everyone's kind of jumping around or cheering. So um, yeah, it fit well. Obviously, they play it like halfway through. There's no like time to do the slow build up, but the course fits pretty well. So it I think it went over all right.
I think it did too. And I mean, online, the reaction was outstanding. I feel like everyone has loved it. So much so that people have made memes of like when Troy gives Gabriella the necklace and she's like, T is in Troy. And then the meme is like, no, T is in 2 goals for Jeff Skinner. So I don't know if you're aware of the memes, but the memes have also been coming out of this, I think, which adds to how awesome it's been.
Yeah, our PR staff is they're all over that. They're not. I don't know. Sometimes they're creating the memes, but they're definitely letting me know when there's a meme popping up. So yeah, it's I guess if everyone's having fun, that's all that counts.
Now, sticking with just musical taste, I know you, like you said, you've kind of leaned into this kind of genre of the goal song, but what is your musical taste? Like, how would you describe it? Maybe what are a few songs that would describe your musical taste that are more on brand of what you listen to?
Uh, I think like I'm kind of all over the map. I don't really I go kind of through phases. I'm probably right now a little bit more into country. But I had a few years there where I didn't really listen much country and was into a little bit more hip hop and I'd say probably what I go back to the most is kind of just chill kind of like singer-songwriter stuff. Like Ed Sheeran's probably my favorite artist and um I mean, other than like going to the rink where I think sort of the pump up music kind of like is always on. I think that I usually try to tend to steer towards kind of more like relaxing kind of chill stuff. So um but yeah, I think it's hard. I like to listen to everything. So I don't really pick and choose much. So maybe that gives me more chances to find the next goal song, I guess.
I love it. I love it. And I know you've met Ed Sheeran and given him the jersey. I listened to, and I know it was when you were with Carolina. I think you were on a radio show just telling the story about you meeting Taylor Swift and like giving her the jersey and just the reaction to that of like she asked if she could like if you wanted the jersey back and you're like no, like it's for you kind of thing. So what was it like meeting Ed and giving him the jersey? Was it a similar experience or was it a little less confusing, I would say?
Yeah, it was less confusing. I think I was in the back of a pretty long meet and greet line when I gave it to Taylor Swift. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And when I met Ed Sheeran, it was kind of like I was there with my sister actually. It was kind of like not too big of a line, not too big of a meet and greet. It's pretty cool. I mean they're both really nice, but I think because Taylor Swift had like this huge line, it was less of a chance to kind of talk to them. And I got to talk to Ed Sheeran probably for like a couple minutes, and he's a really nice guy. And yeah, pretty cool. I was pretty excited to meet him.
You mentioned the young guys. I know a lot of people have been impressed with watching Zach Benson in particular and just how he came in and just what he's looked like so far. Kind of taking you back to when you first entered the league. Do you have like a welcome to the NHL moment? I feel like we've had so many rookies this season. The Calder race is just going to be kind of really fun to watch throughout, and it's been really hyped up. So yeah, just giving you a flashback in time to your welcome to the NHL moment.
Yeah, I think it's so much different now for young guys. I think they're a lot more prepared. I think they're like a lot more skilled in general. But I also think just given the access of kind of social media and sort of the way they can kind of see how NHLers live sort of before they get up to the age where they can make the league. I think it gives them a different perspective. I think for me, I came in and had really no idea what was going on. And I think I can remember we got on the road and we get into the road city the night before and I was just like, what do we do now? And everyone was like, well, we'll see you in the morning. I was like, okay. And so I think also my first couple games were in that they were in Finland. We had sort of a global series. And so my first NHL game was actually in Finland, which was pretty unique. And obviously I'd been playing junior in Ontario League for the last 2 years. So
Yeah.
playing in Finland in NHL was pretty cool. So that was a couple things that stand out. But yeah, I think young guys now they're a little bit more prepared. And yeah, it's fun to see them come in and make impacts sort of right away.
Okay, put the hockey questions here, just a couple more before I let you go. Watch the mic'd up video of you. I believe it was a preseason game, if I'm not mistaken, with Boston. But just things I noticed, like you talk a lot out there and hyping up all your teammates, which I think was the title of the YouTube video, which is it's awesome access and just really cool to see. But have you always been that communicative and vocal on the ice, or has that come with time and learning from other players that you saw were great communicators on the ice and always talking? Because it really is fascinating to watch.
Let's just be talking, eh? All night, lots of talk. See, if you get stuck on this side, I'm over there, we just talk it out. Nice pressure, Beers, nice pressure. Good boy. Once we get more comfortable, like, you surf in like that, and then, like, I can go in, okay, you can come in. Yeah. See ya! That's it. Great job, Lindy, that boy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it kind of just depends on people's kind of personality sometimes. I think for me, it helps me get into the game a little bit. I find sort of if I'm a little bit more quiet and sometimes I'm not as engaged, then it can be a little bit more challenging for me to sort of to get engaged on the ice. So I think it's sometimes you got to balance that with not annoying guys. So you definitely got to keep it positive. But yeah, I think it's sort of one of those things where it's kind of I've tried to learn from guys older than me, kind of when's the right thing to say things and what are the sort of because I think you get to the NHL and most guys, if they make a mistake or if they make a good play, they know they just made a good play or made a mistake. So I think you're not really sort of teaching moments out there. It's more just like confirming good plays and letting guys know that you're kind of in it together. And yeah, I think that's kind of the main reason is I like to keep it light and kind of stay engaged in the game that way.
I love that, and I'm sure your teammates appreciate that and are very receptive to it. The last thing I'll leave you with, just looking on YouTube, kind of the most viewed Jeff Skinner clips. There are three that have come up in particular. One is an interaction you had with Zdeno Chara, and I feel like it also ties into maybe one that's more recent where you tried to break your stick in the penalty box after getting one late in the game. So just stories behind those moments, because those seem to be like the most viral Jeff Skinner clips that come up on YouTube.
Yeah, I think that's kind of just, again, it's like, I think it's an emotional game, and you try and feed off those emotions. And for me personally, it helps me get engaged to the game when I'm kind of playing with a little bit more, I don't know, more emotion, or a little bit more fiery kind of emotion. And I can find when I'm not playing well, I can kind of be more laid back and not involved. So, but on the other hand, I think sometimes you kind of go too far, it gets out of hand, and you got to rein it back in. So that's kind of the constant balancing act that I try and sort of be cognizant of when I'm out there. But yeah, sometimes I think when you play with emotion, or you kind of play on that edge, it's sometimes you tip it a little too far. And I mean, now there's cameras and mics everywhere, so they don't miss it. So just take it in stride, and rein it back in, and get back out there for the next one.
Were you intimidated all by Chara, just getting into
Oh yeah,
a
I
little
mean,
match with him?
I don't think that would have gone well for me. So I think I'm glad it didn't go any further, I guess.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it. And all the best this season, hopefully into the playoffs and a long playoff run for you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.